Most people think the rich got richer because they work harder. That's cute, because while millions of people are busy arguing online, binge-watching shows, and buying things they don't even need, wealthy people are quietly buying assets that will pay them for the next 10 years. And here's the scary part. Most people don't even realize it's happening. Right now, there are people your age spending 6 hours a day consuming entertainment, while someone else is buying stocks, businesses, real estate, and digital assets that are quietly multiplying in value. Same internet, same 24 hours, completely different future. And if you understand this one hidden shift, you'll start seeing money, attention, and freedom in a completely different way. Because the biggest wealth transfer isn't happening through hard work anymore, it's happening through distraction. A few years ago, a teenager in the US spent his stimulus check on sneakers and gaming skins. His friend used the same money to buy shares of companies everyone ignored during the crash. One wanted dopamine, the other bought ownership. Fast forward a few years, one has old screenshots, the other has assets worth thousands. That's the difference nobody teaches you in school. Rich people don't think like consumers, they think like owners, and ownership changes everything. See, the average person wakes up and instantly gets attacked by distractions, notifications, trending drama, short videos, fake urgency, limited time sales. Everything is designed to keep you emotionally reactive, because distracted people spend more money. Focused people build wealth. Think about it. When was the last time social media told you to calmly learn investing for 30 minutes? Exactly. The platforms make money when you stay distracted, and the rich understand this better than anyone. That's why many wealthy people treat attention like currency, because attention becomes decisions, and decisions become financial outcomes. A distracted person buys liabilities. A focused person buys assets. Simple difference, massive consequence. But here's where it gets dangerous. Most people don't even know what an asset actually is. They think assets are only mansions or companies. No, an asset is anything that puts money, value, or opportunity back into your life over time. Stocks, rental properties, skills, content libraries, businesses, even an audience online can become an asset. Meanwhile, liabilities quietly drain you. The newest phone you couldn't afford, clothes bought for validation, subscriptions you forgot existed, a car payment designed to impress strangers at red lights. And look, buying nice things isn't evil. The problem is buying liabilities before building assets. It's like decorating a house before building the foundation. And rich people understand delayed gratification at a completely different level. Most people want to look rich now. Wealthy people want to become rich later. Huge difference. There's a reason millionaires often look boring, because real wealth is usually silent, debt is loud. Ever notice how some people making $50,000 a year try to look rich online, while actual millionaires wear the same hoodie every day? That's not an accident. That's psychology. Poor and middle-class consumers are often sold status. Rich people buy cash flow. And honestly, this starts young. A lot of people in their 20s get their first decent paycheck and immediately upgrade their lifestyle. Better shoes, better apartment, more expensive restaurants. And suddenly, they need every paycheck just to maintain the image. They accidentally trap themselves. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it quietly kills wealth, because every dollar spent maintaining appearances is a dollar that can't buy future freedom. Now, here's the twist nobody expects. The rich love economic chaos, not because they enjoy suffering, but because assets often go on sale during panic. While everyone else is scared, emotional, and distracted by headlines, wealthy investors start shopping. During recessions, crashes, and uncertainty, average people freeze. Rich people prepare. Why? Because they know something most people don't. Assets transfer from emotional people to disciplined people. That's why market crashes create millionaires, not overnight gamblers, patient owners. Think about 2008 or 2020. While millions panicked, some people quietly bought stocks, real estate, and businesses at discounted prices. Years later, those decisions changed entire family bloodlines. And before you say, well, that only works if you're already rich, not true, because the habit matters more than the amount in the beginning. A college student investing $50 a week consistently is learning a mindset most adults never develop: ownership, patience, long-term thinking. Those skills compound harder than money. There's another reason rich people keep buying assets while everyone else stays distracted. They understand inflation better than the average person. Most people think saving money alone makes them safer, but inflation quietly destroys buying power every year. Meaning, if your money just sits there doing nothing, it slowly loses strength. That's why wealthy people don't just save money, they position money. Huge difference. They buy things that can grow faster than inflation. Businesses, real estate, stocks, intellectual property, digital infrastructure. Even boring investments can become powerful over time. But distractions make long-term thinking almost impossible, because modern entertainment trains people to expect instant rewards. Fast videos, fast food, fast dopamine, fast validation. So when investing feels slow, people quit. But wealth was never supposed to feel exciting every day. That's one of the biggest lies social media created. Real wealth often looks repetitive. Quiet investing, consistent learning, ignoring hype, making boring decisions for years, and that's why most people never do it, because boredom feels harder than struggle. Crazy, right? People will stay broke doing exciting things instead of getting wealthy doing boring things, and the rich know this. That's why they protect their environment aggressively. They limit distractions. They buy back time. They think in decades while everyone else thinks in weekends. And here's something nobody tells young people enough. The earlier you buy assets, the less pressure life has on you later, because compounding is unfair. In a good way. Someone who starts investing at 20 often ends up massively ahead of someone who starts at 35, even if the second person makes more money. Time matters more than intensity. That's why wealthy people obsess over starting early. Not because they're smarter, because they understand math and human behavior. And honestly, this entire system becomes easier once you realize one thing. The world constantly tries to turn you into a consumer. Algorithms want your attention. Brands want your identity tied to products. Apps want your time. Everyone profits when you stay distracted, but almost nobody profits when you quietly build ownership. That's why discipline feels lonely sometimes, because ownership is less entertaining than consumption in the short term, but infinitely more rewarding in the long term. And no, this doesn't mean you need to become some emotionless finance robot. Enjoy your life. Have fun. Buy things you genuinely love. Just don't sacrifice future freedom for temporary validation, because one day, the people buying assets today will own the things everyone else rents tomorrow. And that's the part most people realize too late. The game was never only about making money. It was about owning things that make money without needing your constant attention. That's how freedom is built. Quietly, slowly, while the world stays distracted. So the next time you catch yourself scrolling for hours, ask yourself one uncomfortable question. Am I consuming my future or building it? Because the answer to that question can completely change your life. And if you want to understand the next hidden financial trap keeping young people stuck, watch the next video, because that's where things get even more dangerous.